All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I will be doing a weed sector review here, looking at CGC, SNDL, high tide, and ACB. Okay, I did a little bit of a longer term view on TLRY. That's why it's not on this one. If I can move in a good enough flow, I'll try to take out a bit of a longer term view on these ones. Otherwise, I'll do the normal, daily and weekly, right? So interesting to see what CGC did here, because I actually started talking about maybe wondering if I was wrong right before I went on vacation, right? So CGC did not quite do what it needed to do to make me think I'm wrong. And again, for me, this reverse split was really bad, and I was scared that even good weed sector strength wouldn't help CGC. Truth be told, I don't know what SNDL looks like, but I'm hoping that the strength of TLRY, and not necessarily strength, but at least the upward momentum of TLRY, I think that's a better way of saying it, helped out Sandal, High Tide, and maybe even ACB as well. Honestly, I don't know what those three look like, all right? But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So let's get into it. And hey, really quickly, if you haven't already, check out the Discord groups. I was gone for a complete week, and the Discord groups were just humming like machines, all right? So links are in the comments if you haven't checked them out already. So CGC, okay, listen, I really believe that the weed sector is going to do well in 24. Again, I just made a little bit of a long-term video on the TLRY one, so I don't want to repeat it too much, right? But come elections, maybe even a little bit before elections, there's a lot of technical bullishness on TLRY. There's a lot of reasons for me to be actually very hyped on the weed sector. My specific CGC concern was this right here. It was the reverse split. I don't care if it's 1 for 10. I don't care if it's 1 for 2. I don't care if it's 1 for 500,000. All right. Any reverse split to me is death. All right. I sincerely believe after the reverse split happens, it's just going to keep going down and down and down, because before the reverse split, it was below all 5 lines. After the reverse split, it stays under all 5 lines. And I was surprised to see it start retaking some lines really early, all right? And I very quickly started to admit, hey, maybe I'm wrong, right? Like, I'm a little bit louder with my incorrect thoughts than my actual accurate thoughts, right? But yeah, I maybe the weed sector was actually stronger than I thought. Maybe it could pick up the CGC line. I don't like what this did in the last week. Come the end of the week, we are basically on the 8 moving average. And really, I wish I had more decimals here, because I kind of see the red line under the green line. It looks like we're actually, and again, one candle doesn't count, confirmation matters, right? But instead of going up, we went down, and it's not what CGC needed to do to make me think that, hey, maybe it can outdo this reverse split. Now listen, I know I've seen a lot of comments that say, hey, CGC was basically like unloading the books, was basically correcting the wrongs of the past, and the next year is going to be the growth. Ooh, excuse me, hiccup, sorry about that. But next year is going to be the growth year, right? I'm not here disagreeing with, I'm not even here pretending I know anything about that, right? But it's not an easy thing to do. I know it sounds very doable and very corporate that, all right, last year we just cleaned up the books, we're now ready to go for, look, dude, human greed is bad. especially when you're an executive making 6 and 7 figures and all of a sudden you're in jeopardy to not make that. Oof, I'm nowhere near that, right? But if I was making $1 million and all of a sudden might have to go back to this like 100K life, you know what I mean? Like, no, you're not taking a zero away from me. Like, I'm gonna figure it out, right? And that's like my like very pessimistic why I'm a swing trader and don't believe in any companies anymore kind of honest mentality, all right? But hey, if CGC can do it, hell yeah. If this reverse split was a very, very long-term play, hey, maybe. To me, reverse splits are always death. You know what I mean? So I wish we did more. I wish we at least took what, like, yeah, that's a break, that's a confirmation. Obviously, this line rejected it. There are 3 right here, right? And these 2 are essentially parallel, the 20 and the 50, right? Like, this is almost one very thick fat line. It actually almost was at that point right there, right? So the spacing isn't even close enough to like battle one at a time. So this is a rejection to me, and we're either coming down to under 480. We're either coming down to this 479 or I mean, I don't even know if that's enough. I don't think so. I think it needs this. Look, it's a dollar move, I think. It's either coming into the 480s, 470s, or it's coming into the 570s. There's, I think, nothing in between. And really, 570 isn't even enough. It actually needs to get into the 6. It needs to get over both of these for me to start believing a little bit more, actually, because this 100 right here ain't going to be a joke on its own. You know what I mean? So CGC, I think, has more of an uphill battle than yeah, that was a rough week. Especially, again, this is not a TLRY video, but TLRY went up. TLRY actually improved its upward slope too. CGC couldn't do that. So disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. But again, I think we're gonna see either a $4.70 or a $5.70 move. I can't imagine anything short of either happening. All right. And honestly, unfortunately, I got to take the pessimistic side. I think it's coming down. I'm not a fan of reverse splits. I don't care what the 3 or 4 letters are. I don't think I looked at the weekly. Oof, bad candle that takes us under all the moving averages, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No confirmation, no confirmation. Let's see what the next candle brings. I think next week's going to be a big one, and this one actually might come as low as 455, or I think it's going to come. Yeah, it might even hit. I think that 570 was a good number. This says 560. This says like 580. Yeah, 570. I like my 570 number. I did actually. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, even if you disagree. You know that I'm not here to hate on your thoughts. Let me take a long term. Let me zoom out real quick. Let's look at the monthly. We could not get over the 8 moving average. TLRY got over the 8. This one didn't. You can kind of argue that this is a doji. That's a tighter doji too. So you had a real doji the month after couldn't do. And you can see there were moments where the candle after the doji was about to be a monster that overtook all 3 of those. Ends up ending down here. I don't like this. And look, this doji was up here at 560. We're down here at 511. I don't like that we came down. CGC, I'm taking a pessimistic view still, all right? Let's come into SNDL. That's what I wanted to see. That is what I wanted. That is a different movement than CGC. That is a similar movement to TLRY. This is nice. This is a break of 3 moving averages, a break of the last 200 moving average, and then the nasty, oh man, dude, there's so much to like here. Yes, again, TLRY is physically over them all, but hasn't confirmed yet. SNDL is physically over them all, hasn't confirmed yet. That's a nice MACD divergence. That's positive. That's a real healthy 64. Looky. Breaking that average 50-day volume like it's nothing. Beautiful. Not bad. Why not? Dude, I like this SNDL chart a lot. I do. Dude and dudette, you know that, right? But no, I like this. There's a clear uptrend forming too. I will draw that bad boy for sure. Let's see how much we can get of that. And you see how long I'm making that line. Yeah, I'm actually doing that for a reason. I think we want to come. I think we're going to... Ooh! Where are you at? Yeah, I think we want to come to, I think, 180. That's almost exactly where that line, that I swear was not supposed to happen. That was, I got a little lucky. I think we want to come to 182. Again, I know people want to talk about higher numbers. Believe me, I know that, right? You're adding another little bit more than 10% actually, right? Like that's a good little, maybe even 15. No, not quite 15, but hey, it's a good double-digit move to that. And again, green, 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 green. Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 red. Could be a nice green, green, green. You know what I mean? So, dude, I do that. I like SNDL daily. Oof. Oof. Okay. Yeah, we weren't able to close over the 50, but I like this. I do. We nicely take the 8. It could have been nicer, obviously, but we take the 20 right after. We're knocking on the door of the 50. I like that. That's a good divergence. It wants to go to the positive. That looks like it's trying to do something. And look at that volume picking up. And really, I know it doesn't look, but I mean, this actually kind of, since right here, since that November, oh man, volume's been nice. There's been a lot more people holding than on less. I'm liking this. I am. Let's zoom out real quick. Let's look at monthly. 206, pretty much lining up with that. 208 is what the average 20 is right there. Let's focus on that 180 number, then we'll take it to the 210. You know what I mean? Slow and steady is not a bad thing. All right, SNDL, I really like it. Let's come to HITI. I'm assuming you. Oof, this is what happens when you assume. Get out of here. Get out of here. So I was expecting. Look, this. I think that was a good zoom actually. Gets over all the lines, can't really confirm. This arguably could have been considered confirmation, man. This is a good candle, gets over the big one, nice little follow through, overall 5. I'm surprised we didn't keep going up. When I left, right, like this was the last week, and I made a video on this. That's a decent 1, 2, 3. I'm not surprised that this opened at 170. I'm a little surprised it didn't open at 170 on this day. Damn, I really was expecting HITI to take off. I think it goes back to the fact that TLRY, though it's been physically over for the last few days, it wasn't able to confirm. We just saw it on the SNDL chart. It's finally over, physically over for the last 2 days, but just hasn't been able to confirm. HITI's been over. HITI's been over for a bit. HITI slipped under and got right back over, right? So again, I sincerely believe TLRY is the leader of the pack when it comes to the weed stocks, right? So hopefully TLRY continues, hopefully SNDL continues, hopefully HITI continues. You know what I mean? So again, this is a little bit of a big, ugly candle. Obviously, insignificant percent, right? But the candle size is a little big. But it was a Friday, right? So to me, I think that's just more of a Friday movement than anything. Hopefully, the week starts. But yeah, you can tell before I came here, I thought we would go a little bit higher. But I guess it just kind of, the sector is tight, you know? And that's a good thing. I like it when the sector has a lot of unison. I also, and you know, I say this not being mean to any CGC holders out there, right? But I like it when if a bad thing happens, well, if one bad thing happens, wow, too many S's. If one bad thing happens to one stock, cough, cough, reverse split on CGC, I like it when it stays on that one and doesn't take out the rest. You know what I mean? So HITI, I expected a little more, but I think I'm okay with this actually. Just let's let it go. Oh, yeah, it's not a bad weekly, man. Still a bunch of dojis, but look, this one ended up here. This one ends up a little bit higher. I'm okay with this. The goal really, yeah, that 170 line is a little tough. get over 170, and we actually might even kiss 180 come next week on high tide. All right, and then let's close it off with ACB. ACB, man, get over the 50 moving average and we'll run to the 100. We can't do it yet. Can't do it yet. It's okay. Look, it's okay. The other stocks are trying to escape all 5 moving averages. This one's still trying to escape these bottom 3. This one still kind of reminds me of the early SNDL. Still kind of struggling with these 3 before it eventually takes off and goes, right? So ACB, this doesn't look fantastic. I'm not here pretending that this one looks great. Not a good RSI, not good volume. MACD's barely holding on. Looks like it wants to even maybe curve under, right? But I don't want to say I'm okay with this. I do believe this was an ugly Friday, normal ugly Friday trading day. And I think if TLRY does the job, if SNDL, if they all can go up, this one will go up too. And boom, average volume is where it wants to be. I think this is a good 8 million number. Oh, there's not even that much, but like, yeah, this one, random one. Look, this was a 8.8 million day, right? I clicked on a very random one of these. It looked like, I'll click on this one. 8.4 million. You can see the volume number, 1, 2, the 4th box down, second from the last one, volume, VOL, 8.4 million, right? So it likes when the average 50 is around 8 million. It can break that, all right? So ACB, I'm liking this. I actually am. I know that there's more things that say, dude, what are you saying? You shouldn't like this. You're under the 8 and the 12. I see a stock holding this 50 pretty well. I see the 50 not going down as hard, actually trying to flatten out, maybe even go up. I don't know, right? But I think more than anything, I like that SNDL just did this. Struggled, took it. ACB. Struggled, give it to me. And you can kind of see the spacing up here is kind of the same as it was in SNDL. Just give me the sector strength to lift this one as well, all right? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Yeah, let's look at the weekly real quick. Hold on, let's look at the weekly. Interesting doji, not really liking it, but 53 cents is where this might want to go if we can actually say we've... No, I think 49 cents. Yeah. I want to say 53. I'm telling you I do. I don't know if we're getting over this line, but we should. Saying we should is the stupidest thing you can actually say. Sorry to curse again, but you should never say that. I feel 53 in my gut. The technical line is 49 for sure, all right? If we can break 53, that's where it'll be real juicy, and we'll take an extra little 20% and go up to the 60s, right? But slow and steady, baby, all right? Let me know your thoughts and opinions, even if you disagree. Thank you so much.